All right, it's time for you to get behind the camera. Please make sure you keep it steady, okay? All right, let's get you back there. Okay. All right. It is now on to week 3 for my Road to Kelowna report. It's actually been 5 weeks, but I haven't been reporting, obviously, quite as much as Anne has. So for me, this is week 3, for her, it'll be week 5. And so right off the bat, I'm going to say that this week wasn't as good as I could have hoped or really wanted it to be. Somehow I ended up hurting my left leg on Saturday, and I'm not quite sure how. I was gaming. You know, I'm not quite sure how sitting down playing video games is going to hurt my leg, but you know, there you have it. Anyways, let's get this thing started, shall we? So here's hoping Octoguy can keep the camera focused and keep me in frame. Last time was a little on the not good side. He's still learning. He's getting the hang of it. He can do this. Anyways, so bench was a good surprise for me this week. As I said, I would start off the week with one plate 10. So I was going for a 4x4 since this is definitely new weight. You know, not wanting to just go completely balls to the wall with something new and just see if I could rip a 6x7 or a 6x6. But at the end of the 4 set, it was pretty clear I had more in the tank. So I finished Wednesday with a 5x4. And Friday I went to a 5x5. And both were clean. So that was good. And this is where I started feeling a little bit greedy and decided I'd try it for a 6x6, but on Anne's suggestion, I decided not to quite go that far just yet to make sure I could, you know, see that this is actually where I should be at. So on Sunday, this is what I did, is I did a 3x6, and then, I started with a 3x5, and then I did a 3x6. So 3x5 was clean, 3x6 wasn't quite that great. I landed a set of 6, a set of 5, and then another set of 6. So obviously this is where I need to be. So next week I'm going to push myself up to getting 2 6x6s of this in a row that are clean. So now squats. They started out great at the beginning of the week, 5x4 at 2 plate. Only the last 2 sets weren't clean, but that's okay. That's the reason why it's my working set. So obviously you got to clean that up before moving on. Gonna, you know, once I hit two days of doing clean 6x6 with this, then obviously it's increasing the weight at that point. No, Friday is not a squat day because it's deadlift day. And we all know you should never squat and deadlift the same day. But on Sunday, I figured I should drop the weight and do sets of 8 and 10 because this is the day that I hurt my leg. So the power just wasn't quite there, and I went for 1 plate 25 at 3x8 and just a straight 1 plate 3x10. So, yeah, obviously I wish I could have been better, but that is what it is. Now, deadlift is deadlift's going to be on Friday now. I've decided probably not a good idea to do deadlift twice in a week because I don't really want a repeat of what happened last time. So I went for a 6x5 at 2 plate. All my lifts were clean. Definitely the first set was slow. After that, it seemed to go pretty well. Definitely feeling it at the end, but next week I'm gunning for 6x6, so that'll be good. Now, auxiliary work. Biceps started out at 20 pounds. We do hammer curls and then crossover hammers. And I started that with a 5x10. And on Sunday, I decided it's time to ramp it up, so I went up to 25 pounds for a 6x8. Back extensions started out at 45 pounds for 6 sets. On Friday, though, I moved it to 65 pounds for 6 sets, and I was definitely feeling it. Nothing on Sunday, though. Pec fly started out pretty well. It was 145 pounds for a 6x7. This wasn't going to be clean the whole way through. Sets 4 and 6 were not clean. Friday definitely cleaned up all that, and I came out pretty good. Sunday, though, I couldn't even start because the moment I applied force to start the pec fly, it felt like someone had stabbed me right here. So I was like, you know what, probably gonna lay off on this one for today so that I can actually get back to it on Wednesday and keep going. Back flies, I moved up to a 6x7 like I said I would last time, and it's still 137.5 pounds. Wednesday was really not clean. Friday cleaned up a lot of that, and I only had 1 dirty rep on Friday. Sunday the same thing, only 1 dirty rep. So definitely a vast improvement there. And this coming week I should be able to get myself, well, I'm hoping for 6x6 clean twice in a row, and that up to my next weight. So that'll be going up to what, 145 I think? Yeah, it should be 145. Seated rows all week long were really clean. At 165 pounds for a 6x7. I'm going to start next week out actually at 175 pounds because I was really satisfied with how these turned out this week. I'm going to either start with a 6x4 or 6x5. So obviously I'll get to find out how that turns out. Lat pull downs, they went up in weight for my wide grip, and they went from 145 pounds to 150. Mid and narrow grips remain at 165 pounds, and I do 2 sets for each. Now, obviously, as expected, Wednesday wasn't particularly stellar. So how I start and does the same thing as we start. Narrow grip, mid grip, wide grip, so that's the first 3 sets, and then wide grip again, mid grip, narrow grip. So sets 1 and 2, I hit all 6, and they were also at the what do we got here, 165 pounds. Then I go to the wide grip at 150, and I can only do 5 reps for each one. Obviously, I do try and go for the 6th, but I just don't land it. And then move into the mid grip, can still only pull 5 reps, and then get the narrow grip, only manage a set of 4. Friday, much better with sets of 6 all the way through. So that's actually good. I was quite satisfied with how that turned out. Sunday, again, because of my shoulder after the pec flies, I decided to reduce the weight and just go for volume instead of as much weight as I possibly could. And I went for my mid and narrow grip, or 135 pounds, doing sets of 8, and then my wide grip was 120 pounds for also sets of 8. Overhead press. So I went from 6x6 to 6x7 as of Wednesday, and I was a little gung-ho. So I started out, I did the first 2 sets and I hit 7, and then set 3, I didn't lose count, but I stopped paying attention to the number I was counting. And once I counted 8 in my head, I stopped and was like, wait a minute. Wait a second. Set everything down, stand up, and I walk away from this being like, I feel like a god. And a dinosaur. And then I had to start wondering which would actually win in a fight. Would it be a Norse god or a dinosaur? My money's on the dinosaur, because dinosaur. Or a Norse dinosaur. Think about that. Anyways, back to overhead press. Friday I did 6x7 clean, but Sunday set 3 of 6 was definitely shaky. Cleaned it up for the remaining. Could have done a little bit better, but I think what's going to happen with that is I'm going to do one more 6x7 attempt on Wednesday. If that one comes out clean, I'm going to up the weight to 100 pounds for Friday and just go from there. No landmines or glute bridges this week, so we're definitely going to need to tighten up on that and make sure we actually get that done this week for sure. Or this coming week. Oh, it's Monday now, so technically this week. Tricep and face pulls, I started at 6x7 for 145 pounds. They were absolutely clean Wednesday and Friday. I couldn't have asked for better. So on Sunday I stepped up to 150 pounds, did 6x4. Obviously struggled a little bit, but that's good because that's what I want. So this is definitely where I should be right now. So obviously going forwards, I'm going to be going for 6x4, 6x5, probably 6x4 on Wednesday, 6x5 Friday, 6x5 Saturday, or 6x5 Sunday, sorry. And then getting into my 6x6s next week, and then, yeah, so. Overall, as you can see, there's definitely been progress. Not exactly what I wanted, but you know what? Small gains are small gains. Progress is progress. I have no complaints about that. So the week after next is going to be PR attempts. So that's where I get to see how the work has paid off. And it was the second to last PR attempt before competitions, so I'm looking forward to this. Yeah. Anyways, so that's it for me. And remember, I'll see you all in Kelowna, and together we can face that bar.